All right.
3, 2. How are we doing, all my Dukes and Duchesses? Welcome back to This is officially the 9th episode.
Yes.
I was wrong about which episode it was last podcast episode, but shout out all my Dukes and Duchesses. Welcome to another conversation between myself and my wife. Candace, how we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
So these are 30-minute podcasts, and we have 3 topics that we're going to spend about 10 minutes on each one. And we're going to delve into basically some hot current culture. But before we get into it, I do have to remind all my new and returning Dukes and Duchesses, whether you're subscribed to my channel or not subscribed, I'm going to need you to first go ahead, hit that subscription button, make sure all your notifications are set to all, and please, we can cut it. I have memberships now on my channel, and I have a lot of great things to offer in 3 different tiers. So I'm going to need you to hit that join button and consider joining my channel as an official member, a baron, baroness, a count or countess, and a duke and or duchess. 3 different tiers. The first tier is $3. Just show your loyalty and dedication to the channel. There's a lot of dope things that are members only behind that paywall that I will that I am excited to share with you all. So now let's get into it. Candace.
Yeah.
We were just watching Pop the Balloon or Find Love, which, by the way, okay, first of all, we're huge fans.
I love it.
It's great. Of Arlette Amuli and her show, Pop the Balloon or Find Love. But one of the things, I guess, a lot of people online think it's like toxic or whatever. I find great entertainment value through it. And I also think that Arlette has a goal clearly of being like a very, very, popular, successful, famous sort of matchmaker.
Black
right?
excellence, really.
Black excellence. And definitely specifically a matchmaker of, the black community. Everybody that she gets on these shows are, a lot of them, very successful individuals, right? So, but it's really funny. It's a really funny show. Like, just the different social cues and skills and the different things that are said. She definitely puts people on the spot to kind of say, well, what they do or don't like about a specific potential date or suitor. And, sometimes it can get intense with some of the criticisms that these people get on the show.
Some can be really, really mean. That's why I don't think if you do dislike something about somebody, you don't really have to go for the jugular. You can, just, maybe say something a little more positive, even though you might not be like, oh, but I like your fit, but you're just not like my type or something like that. But there was this one guy on there, broke my heart. But he was like, to this one girl, he was just like, yeah, your face has a bunch of wrinkles. I'm not really feeling that. And quite honestly, this is just alleged. I don't know if this woman had a disease or not, but I just thought she might have had lupus. So it's like, you don't really want to be mean when you're not really feeling somebody, there's just ways to do it.
But a lot of times in these episodes, some people for sure get pretty mean with it. Yeah. And then a lot of people are very respectable and respectful and are able to, reject, I guess, a potential date, but still do it with
grace.
With grace, like soft blows, not not hitting below the belt sort of thing. But I love it. It's honestly such a fascinating show, and that's why she does so well. I mean, this episode was posted a few hours ago, and it already has almost 200,000 views. So
I guess the real question is: are people hating on this specific Pop the Balloon because there's many imitations of, Arlette's show? I know you don't like the one with the guy and the goofy hair.
Oh, yeah.
You can't stand that one. I think it's whatever.
Well, that's a good point. You bring up a good point, Candace. Maybe a lot of the criticisms that I come across online when it comes to Pop the Balloon, maybe they're talking about, like, the general like, because there are a lot of copycat
Yeah.
shows that completely riff off, and maybe Arlette wasn't even the first, but we know her to be pretty much
Right.
the
She's
pioneer,
pretty,
the
yeah,
first.
yeah.
There's a lot of copycat shows, so maybe when people are like, oh, it's so bad for the culture or toxicity, maybe they're talking about other Pop the Balloon YouTube channels.
And there's like some that aren't as classy, aren't like.
So Candace
you know?
sometimes gets a kick out of watching Are You a Real One?
Yeah.
Because the dude has like, and I can't honestly,
Are You a Real One?
I'm not a fan because I just like, I understand the entertainment value, and I give the dude with the wig and the glasses respect for his craft, but he can be irritating and get on my nerves. So I really, I don't enjoy the Are You a Real One where they have pink shaped heart balloons, but they always do very interesting
Like he'll do
sociological setups, like
Senior
Arlette,
Citizen or
right? Senior Citizens, or like really really short men was one episode,
right?
which was very interesting. Like really short men. I think the tallest guy might have been like 5'4", which is
it's comedic, it's interesting, entertaining.
But obviously we're fans of the OG.
Right.
You know, Arlette Amuli. Go check out Arlette Amuli on YouTube. Her show, Pop the Balloon or Find Love. I don't care, you know, if you're part of the culture or adjacent or not. I think anybody of any ethnic background, as long as you understand English, can find a lot of entertainment value to this show, because it really puts real people on the spot about dating and you know, it's almost like speed dating in a way. Anyways, very interesting stuff.
Go check it out.
How long? Well, I don't know how long.
It doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Let's just move it on. Okay, so
The reality of
all right, so and obviously Candace can touch on this for also not just from like a musical performance perspective, but also from like an art gallery showing perspective, and you know, maybe being social media connected with bigger, more famous artists that get inspiration off you, but you follow them and that sort of thing. But you know, Candace and I were talking about this idea that opening up for these bigger famous acts, you know, these legends, these people in the game that are, you know, hit records that you look up to, that you want to be in similar positions and places of. You know, I was telling Candace that opening up for a big famous artist or rapper used to be like, at least, or it used to feel very like earned, exclusive, and just
like,
not
took
an
years to get, wasn't just like,
and wasn't just something that was very easily accessible, unless maybe obviously even in, you know, the mid 2010s, if you had money, it was easily accessible.
Right.
But now post COVID, you know, it feels like if anybody's got the bag for the promoter, they can get this opening slot. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, because it's like, you know, like every artist and rapper should have the opportunity to like add these things to their resume. But because basically, yeah, if you've got the money and you know the promoter, you can get an opening slot for pretty much any artist, regardless of like what your music sounds like, how much time you've put in.
Are you rapping over your lyrics? Are you not?
Are you rapping over lyrics? Or you're not? So it feels devalued over the years, because, you know, for example, like me, Wilhelm Duke, you know, my guys Deen, Akbar, my guys White Noise, you know, we've been opening up for a lot of heavy hitters, and it's really dope to see. And at the same time, it's like,
trusting, I like going.
well, you know, and we're getting these accolades, right? But at the same time, it's not like we're the only ones getting these accolades,
right?
So, I mean, we all three of us individually have, you know, accomplishments that nobody else has for sure. But like just with some of these opening slots, it's like when you're putting 30 people on the bill for Bone Thugs in Aurora, you know, it's like that devalues the brand that like we bring to the table,
right?
You know what I mean? Because
and that's really annoying to me. Let me just chime in with that one. Yeah, it's like, number one, who is sitting through that? If I'm coming to a show, do I really and I'm trying to see the person that I came to see, which could be anybody, right? And there's 30 openers before the act that I came to see. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to. The show's probably not what I really want to see. You know,
You probably tune out by that point.
I'm tone deaf at that point. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, because just speaking on my personal experience, 2014, 15, 16, getting opening slots was like, it felt very competitive. And when you got an opening slot, it definitely felt earned based on like a meritocracy in the sense that, you're the only music that fits this vibe and we found it and you got this opportunity because of, or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
You love your EPK, like you have a
whatever
website, like it wasn't just given. And that's kind of sometimes what it feels
wasn't
like.
just paid for. And
or that
so,
too,
when I see a bunch of other artists, a lot of artists, but when I see all types of artists getting way easier some of these things, and then it's like, and they're doing the same things as we are, and then it's just it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's like everybody gets it, but because everybody gets it now, it's not quite as elusive, and because it's not as elusive, it's, I guess, not as valuable.
Right. And from the art world, I've experienced that in a sense as well, where I've either paid or haven't paid to be a part of a show. And I feel like my art doesn't really fit with what's going on. Like, it just doesn't fit with everybody else. And it feels like, if you just signed in, you were just going to be a part of the show. It wasn't really curated in a sense, if you get my drift. So yeah, it's like I'm just kind of over that whole way of curation. It's like, if you sign up, everybody's a part. In a sense, that's really dope, but also it's like, if you're a seasoned artist, that kind of it just devalues it. And it's just like, well, if everybody can be a part, it's like, what the hell is my 15, 20 plus years in this business if it's just going to take somebody that just started painting to just be a part of it all? You know what I mean? So.
Right. Well, yeah. So, and another point too is that, I guess, going back, right, even in the early 2010s, there were way less recording artists and musicians than there are like right now, chasing the dream and going after it. And so, I guess getting a opening slot back in that time, that did set you apart. That did make you a little bit different. And now these days, not so much.
Well, yeah, it's flooded. It's just overly flooded.
At the same time, I'm not discouraging any artist
I'm not either.
or rapper from getting those opening slots. Like I said,
not a hater here.
My
Do
guys,
what you
Deen,
do.
Akbar, my guys, White Noise. We've been opening up for a lot of heavy hitters for a long time. So, and we're gonna still do that. And we're gonna get our own shows, our bigger shows. We're gonna keep, all that sort of thing.
And we'll delve more into this as well, because there's just levels to this, guys. Like,
we can only spend 10 minutes per topic. There's a lot of levels to this, but not to say definitely do those openers, do those shows. Just know that you're not the only one. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're
and then it's just like, how long?
And that's okay though. That's also okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
How long do you want to do that? Are you doing that for? I can understand doing it. Oh yeah, you just started out. You've been doing it for maybe like 3 years or maybe like 5 years. But it's like, are you still doing this at 10 years, 15 years in this stuff?
We're trying to level up and have our fan base
that's what I'm
solidified.
That's the goal.
At that point, yeah, absolutely.
That's the goal.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. My Dukes and Duchesses. We have another topic for you.
And it looks like our baby's up.
Okay, so creative perfectionism. I feel like this plagues a lot of people in the Chicago community, and that's one reason why I've been able to elevate. You've been able to help me elevate.
Right.
We've both been able to elevate. It's because we're not afraid to just try things out, experiment, even if it doesn't look good, even if it falls flat on its face, even if nobody sees the content, even if it gets no views. But the point is consistency, right?
And confidence. It builds confidence. If you're out here and you only have 8 boxes and everything has to be perfect, 9 out of 10, you're probably not that confident with what yourself,
look,
your
I'm not
brand.
Gonna lie. I don't care
who you are as an artist. Like, I just don't see the confidence there.
And I'll tell.
Am I good? Yeah.
Check.
Check 1.
I think my mic was turned up too much. Anyways.
Oh.
And I'll tell any artist this, that when you do the 15, 9 to 20 whatever boxes, the whole mysterious thing, it just means that I honestly feel like it means that you don't do art as much as you think you do or say you do, but that's okay.
Right.
You really got to get out of your own way, but also realize that people are building platforms and followings with very, very little production effort and quality.
Nothing.
If you can just talk to the camera on your own cell phone and be comfortable posting that and like just talking to your audience and explaining something, maybe that you have to educate or you want to tell a story. People are building audiences like that in all genres and all fields. And they're not, not everything has to be a movie,
right,
or a music video,
right, or done by this specific person. Like, just get it out there. Or done by this specific
person, or done by this artist,
just
or
get it out there.
This videographer, or this photographer. You know what I mean? So,
we're artists.
Don't
hold
yourself back. If you have something that you want to share, but not all the bells and whistles are lined up, that's okay.
Right.
Post that content.
Right.
Get out there. Put yourself out there on socials, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and other alternative ones. There's things like Blue Sky or something,
right.
X even, right? Twitter. But
and I will say another thing that's been bothering me. Understand these platforms. All these platforms do not work the same. TikTok does not work the same as IG. IG does not work the same as Facebook. Facebook does not work the same as what's another one? YouTube. You know what I mean? It's like, understand what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? You're not just out here just doing anything too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Babe.
Sure.
Babe, what is that look?
No, there's no look.
Oh my God.
We can cut that out. If you like. No, but just to piggyback off, I think went on a tangent there. That's okay.
You can cut all that out.
No. But the four social medias are vastly different. There's definitely a lot of variables between the TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And if you're gonna post the same piece of content on all four, which you should, just know that it's gonna perform wildly different on all four. You're not gonna, just because you go viral on one platform doesn't mean that content is a shoe-in and it's for sure going to go viral on another. It could, right, but it's not guaranteed.
Right.
So post on all four platforms, but understand that it's not, nothing's a guaranteed, which is why you should always stay consistent. And get out of your own head, get out of your own way, and learn some new skills.
And the only Canva. Canva.
Check out Canva, Premiere Pro, CapCut. My guy Mike
hit up
kills it on CapCut.
Right, and hit up
YouTube
University. Sorry.
YouTube University.
Can we cut some of this out? Hold on, I got lipstick on you.
What are you doing?
Okay, sorry, we're gonna cut all this out. Okay.
Anyways, there's a lot of free tools out there, or if they cost, it's like not more than $12. You know what I mean? But
it's like, I know it's hard to learn, guys, but like
when there's Canva and Premiere Pro and Motion Array and CapCut, and I know creators that are making things in their entire catalogs out of some of these mobile apps. So that's all to say. Creative perfectionism, it's killing a lot of y'all. Y'all don't post enough. Y'all don't post nearly enough, and you don't try to increase any aspect of how you're posting. And it doesn't even need to be the production quality, like I said. But
stop being scary.
Just stop being what I mean? Scary. Go to Wilhelm Duke's IG.
Be confident about
my YouTube
yourself.
And look at what I post. And if that can't inspire you to be like, want to go and get it, even though I might not have whatever you think is the perfect image, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. And guess what? It also takes sometimes like years of practice to get like comfortable with your skills. So it's like, in order to do it,
you have a talent, but content creation is an entirely separate skill and talent. You might be really good singer,
right?
But that doesn't mean your content's gonna do it, because you might be shit at making content. But you need to start somewhere,
right? And just build that. But it's like, I wasn't always the best at videos, but it's like, a motherfucker went to school, but then after school, it's like I kept trying to learn new things. You know what I mean? So don't be scared to learn new things, and don't be scared to post, and stop being scary.
And finally, my Dukes and Duchesses, all of our Dukes and Duchesses out there, thank you so much for tuning in to the 9th episode of our podcast. They say that 95% of podcasts don't make it to their 10th episode. We are easily going to be out of that statistic, because this is already our 9th, and we got another one dropping in the next few days.
Yes.
But all and all bygones be by. No, okay, cut that. Shout out all my Dukes and Duchesses. Please consider, if you haven't, first of all, everybody needs to be subscribed. If you
Like, subscribe,
comment,
say hello.
and please consider joining and becoming a dedicated member, a Dukes and Duchesses, a Duke or a Duchess, a dedicated member. This is so.
Also, no, and this is what I also want to say. And if there's certain topics that you want us to discuss, put a comment below.
Any topic you
and
want us
let
to
us
talk
know.
about, please put it in the comments. Please consider joining my channel, becoming a dedicated member, a Duke or a Duchess. Shout out all of our Dukes and Duchesses. Thank you so much for joining me and my wife here so we can talk about current events and pop culture and things that we like, of course, and things that we don't like.
Right.
But anyways, until next time, I'm Wilhelm Duke.
I'm Candace Elise.
We love y'all. Peace.
Mwah.